Welcome to our Glory Globe TV viewers. Breaking news. Yes, a family of 9 including 2 young children were found shot dead in their home in the Russian-occupied eastern Ukrainian town of Belonovka. And a slide has sparked outrage in Ukraine and triggered investigation by both nations. Images from the Ukrainian Donetsk region prosecutor's office showed a horrific murder scenes of multiple family members shot while in their beds, still tucked in each other's arms with blood spatters visible on the walls. Ukraine alleges the family were slain by Russian occupying forces following an argument, while Russian authorities say 2 Russian soldiers have been arrested over the killings. Volnovka has been occupied by Russian forces since March 2022 following Moscow's brutal invasion of its neighbor the month before. The Ukrainian Donetsk region prosecutor's office said armed men in military uniform demanded that the family living there vacate the house to accommodate a Russian army unit earlier this month. When the owner of the house refused, the attackers threatened his family members with physical violence and left the office said Monday based on preliminary information. Days later, gunmen returned and shot all 9 members of the family who were already asleep at that time, the Ukrainian prosecutor's office said. A pre-trial investigation was initiated in criminal proceedings over violence of the laws and customs of war, it said. Russian investigators said 2 Russian servicemen were detained on Monday in connection with the murder of 9 people in Volnovka. The suspects identified are Russian military servicemen from the Far East serving under contract. The investigative committee of the Russian Federation for the so-called Donetsk People's Republic said in a statement. An investigation was launched in connection with the murder of 9 residents of the town of Volnovka, including 2 children whose bodies were found in the premises of a private residential house with gunshot wounds on October 28, the committee said. Russian investigators said that the initial assessment for the motive of the crime was a conflict on domestic grounds. The suspects were detained or taken to the investigative department. Investigative and procedural actions aim to establishing all the circumstances of the incident as well as consideration of the evidence base are being carried out with them, the committee said. The month Ukrainian forces have held out against a renewed Russian offensive in eastern Ukraine as Moscow's forces pummel residential areas. Ukraine has also ordered mandatory evacuation of civilians, particularly children, in areas close to front lines in the east and south. Behind the report, Glory Globe TV.